Cricket presents The Campfire, and today we are talking District 4-5A, Division 2. The teams in this district include Colleyville Heritage, Arlington Heights, Northside, Polytech, Southwest, Trimble Tech, O.D. Wyatt, and Grapevine. Let's analyze these teams in our film session. Grapevine won this district last year, but will be going through a coaching change as Mike Alexander left for Marcus. Not only that, a lot of skilled position players graduated, but the Mustangs usually have talent waiting in the wings and should be a favorite to snag a playoff spot. Same thing with Colleyville Heritage, as they introduced Jerry Edwards as their new coach in 2023. The Panthers will be moving first-team All-District receiver Luke Ulrich to quarterback this year, but he'll still target Braden Blewett and Kai Pruitt. Out of Fort Worth ISD, Arlington Heights is going to try to build off what many thought was a surprising second-place finish. Bruising running back and district MVP Brian Furch has moved on, but the Yellow Jackets are hoping Eric Orozco can lead the way at quarterback. Heights also returns newcomer of the year Kanan James on the D-line. O.D. Wyatt is a playoff favorite as well. The Chaps return Cade Barrett behind center, and he'll have Ashton Larkin in the backfield along with Dartagnan Crawford at receiver. Southwest and Northside will push for playoff spots as well. The Raiders bring back Lawrence Taylor. No, not that Lawrence Taylor. This LT was first-team All-District as a wideout. And Northside will look to replace athlete Brandon Forrest, who graduated. Polytech has a couple returning playmakers at wide receiver in Anthony Shepard and Jaden Johnson, while Trimble Tech will look to make improvements on a winless district season. Switch to Cricket and get a free Moto G 5G with your new plan. Smile, you're on Cricket. For an even deeper look at 4-5A Division 2, here's producer Ward Fasold and insider Matt Diggs with the district breakdown.
All right, it's district breakdown time. We have moved on to 4-5A Division 2. And guess what, Diggsy? Parker Polk is not playing football anymore. This is a miracle. He played 9.5 years for Grapevine, and he's finally graduated. So does that leave an opening there for other teams? Or are we still looking at Grapevine, Colleyville Heritage, and heck, Arlington Heights had a heck of a year last year as well.
Finally graduated. We've been talking about him since 2010. I feel like he got a bobblehead in 2010 and in 2020 and 2023. We finally sent him out the door. But I think one thing that we have to kind of talk about as kind of the lead story in District 4-5A has been kind of the coaching turnover that has happened, not at only Grapevine and Colleyville Heritage. So I think there is going to be opportunity. Obviously, there's going to be some players in the system, but both Colleyville Heritage and Grapevine graduated a lot of their offensive, probably 90% of the stats that were gone last year have left. So who will step up and how will they answer? But even though I'm not going to pick them to win the district, I think I am most excited about Fort Worth Wyatt this year. Last year we talked about Colleyville Heritage and Grapevine and everybody else, and then Arlington Heights came in there and completely reframed the narrative as they got a win in that, playing those top two teams. I think it's going to be Fort Worth Wyatt this year. Cade Barrett, quarterback returns, and Jaforski Lane Jr. I think he's going to be a player like Parker Polk we talked about. He got some time as a freshman. D'Artagnan Crawford, wide receiver Ashton Larkin coming back as a running back. I got a chance to see Wyatt last year, and they were a little bit undisciplined, but they were very, very talented. And all those players who were those players that caught my eye are all coming back this year.
Well, let me hear your 1 through 8, and then we'll close it out on 4-5A.
As much as I hate to say it, I got Grapevine 1 and Colleyville Heritage 2. I say I hate because I'm cheering for Fort Worth Wyatt. I hope O.D. Wyatt can win this district. I'd love to see it. I love seeing new things, but I've got O.D. Wyatt 3, Arlington Heights 4, Northside 5, Southwest 6, Fort Worth Poly 7, and Trimble Tech 8 to round out this district.
Oh, man.
We'll post the entire breakdown segment this Wednesday on our social media pages. Now let's take a look at some game changers and our players on the rise presented by Parker University. Opponents of O.D. Wyatt are getting tired of seeing Cade Barrett behind center. Bad news for them, however, as Barrett has one more year left. Cade has been starting for the Chaps since he was a freshman and has gotten better every year. His ability to throw with accuracy plus get out of the pocket and scramble has Wyatt as a preseason favorite to make the playoffs again. Last year, Colleyville Heritage's Luke Ulrich was hard to guard at the wide receiver position. He caught 56 passes for 916 yards and 14 scores for the Panthers. This year, he will be lining up at quarterback and should cause just as much damage. In spot duty, Orich threw for 784 yards and 9 touchdowns as a junior. He's got the reins this year, so opponents beware. It's rare for a freshman to be a unanimous selection for first-team All-District, but that's the accolades Kanan James received for Arlington Heights. James just destroyed offensive lines as he got 58 tackles, with 10 of them being for losses. James also sacked the quarterback 3 times and forced a fumble. Expect those numbers to go up as his high school career continues. Many felt they were seeing double when Colleyville Heritage's Bryson Burgess took the field. The all-district safety was all over the place on defense. In 12 games, Burgess recorded 82 tackles to go along with 4 picks and 2 forced fumbles. Bryson was also the co-defensive newcomer of the year in the district. Burgess is a hard hitter and a go-getter and should anchor the Panther defense in 2023. Switch to Cricket and get 4 lines for $25 each per month, plus unlimited nationwide 5G. Smile, you're on Cricket. Our Ward Fasol caught up to new Colleyville Heritage head coach Jerry Edwards to talk about the Panthers in our Media Day segment.
All right, it's Media Day. We're talking with Colleyville Heritage new head coach Jerry Edwards. Coach, first of all, welcome back up to DFW, and which leads me to my first question. I would love to know the mindset when you're about ready to take a new position. Obviously, the first thing is how it's going to affect your family, but after that, maybe talk about what made the Panthers' job so enticing to you and why you jumped at it.
Well, I think, first and foremost, when you're looking across the state of Texas, you look for premier high school programs. And I think Colleyville Heritage is one of those premier programs in the state of Texas, in the DFW area. I'd previously coached in the DFW area at Mansfield High. And the style of football here is phenomenal. And so if you want to be a head coach, you want to coach, in what I consider probably the hotbed for Texas high school football is in the DFW area in the state of Texas. And so an opportunity to come here for me and my family. I have 3 small boys, and academically and athletically, it was a good move personally, but professionally somewhere that was historically had won quite a bit, 17 years in the playoffs. A place with amazing facilities, great administration, is somewhere, professionally that I wanted to be, where I think that we can make some inroads, be a Region 1 favorite, and take Colleyville Heritage to the next level.
We're going to talk about individual players, but I'm not quite sure how much you have knowledge of them. But I know that the fans at Colleyville Heritage would love to know who's going to be tossing that ball around, since Weston Smith had kind of moved on. But is that something you'll have to see during spring practices the next couple of years, or next couple of months, or do you have something in mind, or what?
Well, I know Luke Ulrich is back. He played a lot of multiple positions for the team last year. I've done the deep dive in on film and kind of broken down every game and watched. And so I have a good understanding. I haven't put names to numbers yet. I kind of know them by numbers right now, just based off the film. But, Luke has been out here with some of our guys before practice, throwing the ball around. My quarterback's coach will be here next Monday, and then he'll do a good evaluation process to make sure we have the right signal caller back there to be effective when we moving the football up and down the field.
Awesome, Coach. Man, I appreciate you joining us, and we were looking forward to seeing what you bring to the Panther Nation down there in Colleyville. We will talk to you soon, and thanks again.
I appreciate the time and all you do for sports, and go Panthers.
You can catch the entire interview Friday on our social media channels. That's going to do it for this week's Campfire. Next week, we dive into District 5-5A Division 2. Until then, have a great week, everybody.